Welcome to today's episode of the Qua Podcast. Yay! Thank you so much for riding with us every week. Thank you for your awesome feedback. Thank you for sharing, liking, and commenting, and also engaging in the conversation. We love you. We love you from the depth of our heart. So, for those who are here to share our content, for those who are yet, because we notice that a lot of people will just scroll through our content, watch it, but you don't share, you don't like, you don't follow. Haba now, haba. We are doing this for you and for your loved ones. Please share, don't be a stranger. Share, like, subscribe. Thank you. And I would like to thank our sponsors for keeping us in business, for partnering with us to bring you every beautiful episode each week, right? We'd like to thank the Kwa Event Center that has given us this beautiful ambience that we are currently sitting down. You can see that I am not sweating in any way. I am very comfortable, and the media team are awesome. So today I would like to give kudos to my media team that has been riding with me every week. I love you. They are backstage. I know some of them are saying, she called us today. Yes, I did. They deserve all the appreciation because they are good guys. So thank you guys for always keeping it real, giving us the beautiful feedback, videos and footage that our audience has been watching. We would like to thank the Flourish 360 for keeping us in business. Thank you for sponsoring every episode. We would like to thank the Ikoyi Properties. Yes, for those of you who are wondering what Ikoyi Properties is about, Ikoyi Properties is a platform where you can rent, sell, and purchase a land, a property anywhere within Lekki, Ekpe Road. So if you're looking to rent, if you're looking to buy, if you're looking to sell, or to put out your properties out there, Ikoyi Properties is there for you. So they are available on websites and all social media. Thank you so much. We would like to thank the PP Chat. We also would like to thank all our sponsors. In between the show, we would be, talking about them and also appreciating them, because if it's not for these people, I wonder if we'll be bringing you each episode every day. Thank you. So today's episode is going to be very real, because this particular topic has been in the heart of everyone. If you count 10 Nigerians right now, about 6-7 of them are talking about how they want to jackpot, and because it has become a syndrome. Like, everybody want to move out of the country, everybody wants to travel. It now seems as if it is the best option to a better life. So today we bring to you an amazing, a phenomenal woman. This woman is very hardworking. She has earned every single penny she is currently enjoying now. And one thing I love about her is she's down to earth. Like, if you see her, she's just, those people that are very quiet, but behind those quiet look is a very intelligent woman. So without wasting time, let me introduce our guest to you. Drum roll. Some will be asking me, who is that? So our special guest today is no other person but the beautiful, intelligent Selina Osaigede. I hope I pronounced that well. Benin people, Wado, I'm sorry. I apologize. A devoted wife and a mother of 4, who is an inspiring example of balancing family, faith, and business. Selina holds dual bachelor's degree in public administration and pastoral study. She's also an alumni of Lagos Business School, where she studied her expertise in business and strategic management. She is the CEO of Bella Beauty. Drumroll. At least from her hair, you can tell that. Yeah, talk to the hair. Like, look at the hair now. Look at the hair game. The hair game is tight. Like, I think I'll have to, after the show, I think I'll have to approach, because this hair I'm seeing. Anyway, let me compose myself before I reduce my steez. Okay, she's also a managing director of Bella Homes. Haba, she just fixed herself in all the places that all the money is coming. Real estate. If you're not doing real estate now, And if you're not doing hair now, so she's just, she's earning and cashing out. Well, okay. In addition to the entrepreneurial venture, Selena is a compassionate evangelist dedicated to spreading the gospel and inspiring others through her faith. Selena's journey is a remarkable testament of her unwavering commitment to her family, her work, and her ministry. We are excited to hear an insight and learn from her through our inspiring journey. So, with no further ado, hello, ma'am.
Hello, thank you. Thank you for
Thanks for
having me.
coming.
Thank you for having me. I'm very happy to be here.
Thanks for coming on the Choir Podcast. Wow. It took us a while, but we are here.
Yes.
You just celebrated your 50th?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw the video. It was so grand.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. It was everything I wanted plus more. It was beautiful. It was just, I tagged it Selena Gracious 50.
Wow.
Yeah, so the entire month of November have been like a gratitude moment for me. I've just been grateful, thanking God, thanking God, thanking God. So even the podcast, you have been
I've been on
wanting me to come.
Yeah.
I really also wanted it to be in November because I really wanted to close November on a gratitude note from the beginning to the end. So I'm happy to be here.
Wow, beautiful.
Thank you for having me.
Wow,
Thank you.
50 beautiful years.
Yes.
How has it always, how did you start your journey as a young girl till now that you are now an accomplished woman?
Yeah, like I said, it has been 50 beautiful years. And also God have been it, when you are living your life, and then from the very early in life, you acknowledge that you need God to move in this your life, and you need God to partner with you in your life. It kind of just make things much more easier.
Yeah.
So from a very young age, I've acknowledged that. I've always devoted my life to God. I've always asked for His direction, and today I can testify that it was there for me all the way. It was there for me all the way. It has been a beautiful 50 years, yeah. And I'm grateful for where I am now, and I'm grateful and open for the next step.
Wow, beautiful. Yeah. When we talk about God, some of these young girls will say, it's too cliche. Everybody, God. They think God is old school. I've heard somebody say that when I reach that age, then I can start talking about God. This age now, I want to enjoy my life. Would you say that is the case for you, or you've always been the Christian girl?
No, I've always been the child of God kind of girl. And then like you said, people say, oh, when I get there. Of course, when you get there, if you are still alive, you still have God. This is that God that accepts you at any time. But what they don't know is that when you walk your life walk with God, God makes it easier. Do you understand? It makes it easier, except you don't want to do the right thing. That's the only way, you are shy from God because you are not doing the right thing. But most times people say, oh, I'll wait. When you wait, it takes you more time to get to where you want to get to, or you assume you want to get to accept God. Going with God, it takes you lesser time to get to where you want to go or achieve what you want to achieve, because it's like a divine director. It just directs you, and for instance, you are looking for a direction and you don't know your way. Once you go on a Google map or you ask for direction, you actually get there easier. Yeah. So it's the same thing with God. Like when you call God into your life and you partner with God on your life journey, it makes things easier. It makes you get to, what you want to achieve or where you want to get to.
That's right.
Far, far more on time and achieve more even before them. So I will advise, there's nothing like it's old school. When you partner with God, I think even now, I'm beginning to see that it's becoming new school. Every young girl, they are breaking this and they're partnering with God, and you are seeing what God is doing with them and the waves they are all making. So I think that mindset is is
It's
turning around,
changing.
it's
Yeah.
changing.
Jesus
Yes.
is winning.
Yes.
Wow. Let's talk about your personal journey. You
Okay.
have achieved so much in both your personal life and your professional life.
By
Can
the
you
grace of
share with
God.
us a bit of a journey and what inspired you to pursue both business and ministry?
Okay. Like I traveled abroad very early in life. And then so let me say youth, my early youth, I was abroad, and I met my husband abroad and all that. And then we got married and we started having children. So
Mm.
it got to a point whereby you know how abroad is now. It's difficult for you to have little children and go to work, at least both of you. So when my husband is going to work, I had to stay with the children. And then it wasn't really easy for me because I'm someone that really always like to have something doing. I really,
Mm.
from a very young age, was very dependent on myself, always do something, even without my parents assisting me. I come up with one thing or the other that have to do with trade, selling, or whatever. I just do it without supervision. Even I have aunties that were selling and doing businesses. I'm always with them. Like even without them
Mm.
inviting me, I always want to be with them because I want to help them to sell or to do this. So from very little age, from childhood, I've always been that kind of person. I've always just loved to give something for something, like trade and
Mm.
sell. And with that, I was always financially, dependent. So I
Mm.
grew up being like that. So now being abroad and giving birth and staying indoor wasn't really it for me. But at the end of the day, my first daughter she was 4, and I had a second daughter that was 6 months old. So that was the time my husband as well was planning on coming to, settle down and invest in real estate in Nigeria. So
Okay.
at that particular time, it really worked for both of us. And of course, we came to Nigeria and immediately we're strategizing to, settle down and invest in real estate. And while I was doing that, real estate kind of takes time. It's not what you do today
You,
and tomorrow. So
yeah.
while we're studying and investing and going around all that, I still was home, and with the children. I remember then because we're living in an estate, and of course there's a school in that estate. So in the morning I take the children to school, and then what do I do then? From there I go to the gym, and then from the gym I go home, I shower, and then I go to bed to take a nap. So what I would do then was to set an alarm. And then even before then, before the school closing hour, maybe by 12:01, I'm already awake. I'll get ready, I'll pick the children. So that was more like my
Your
routine.
routine, yeah.
Except maybe when I have to go out with my husband to look at one property or the other. But otherwise, that was my routine. And it wasn't sitting for me. And I remember saying it one day, like I was just indoor, just relaxing and waiting for time. And something just spoke to me like, ah, Celine, I'm this young. I'm just at home. What am I going to do with my life? Like, is it when I'm now old that I will now think of what to do? Meanwhile, we relocated from US, and then I was already admiring while we were in US, those beauty supply shops, the way were arranged, the hairs, everything in order. Even while in America, I wanted to even open one, and then my mom was like, "No, hold on, let's open a business center then, where people were making calls and all that,
Oh,
because that was
yeah,
the in thing
yeah.
at the time." So in between that time was when we officially relocated, and that beauty supply was still in mind. And then all that time in the entire Lagos, the only place you can go to get air was Balogo Market. And then
Oh,
Balogun Market was, upside down, not even the way it is today. Like those shells will be in the packs, in the cartons, you have to sort and all that stuff. And this my mindset and my vision of how the beauty supply shop looks abroad and how is where arranged was still just
in
in my
your
mind.
mind, yeah.
So I kept telling my husband, this is what I really wanted to do and all that. And luckily for me, during that relocation time, we're investing in business. Ikota was just selling. Ikota shopping complex was selling. And
Oh,
of course, we got few of the shops then.
oh.
And then my husband was like, yeah, we'll look into it. But now let's stabilize one business first. In the process of doing the property business, we opened an interior shop. And of course, another one that you have to travel to bring in container and all that stuff. So that one also kept me busy, once in a while when we travel to go and sort. and all that. And of course, when we travel to go and also get materials for building, for Bella owns, we have to sort. Everything was imported then. Even to the ties, we go to Spain because we're using top-notch quality and all that.
Yeah.
So we go to Spain to import Spanish ties. We're going to all the way to Dubai, China to get products for building. So I was quite busy, but once those products are on ground, you are now going to decide, kind of, it slows down again. I was like, but that beauty supply thing was just still on
Yeah,
my
you couldn't
mind.
take off the picture from your
Thank you.
mind.
And I kept telling my husband, it's something we can do alongside because the shops were there. You know, we already got them. Even the one for the beauty supply was right behind the interior one. So it was always there. So we were just waiting for the time for it to start and all that. So that was how, on this special day, like 18 years ago, I had to travel. I made the call. Then it was a Slick UK. So I made the call to Slick New York, and then we had this arrangement, and I needed to go to Slick UK. It was closer. So we now signed a deal for me to, be in charge of Slick
Yeah,
Air
be their
Nigeria,
partners,
be
yeah,
their
Nigeria.
partners. And of course, that was how I went to UK and then signed the agreement, and the air business started basically.
Wow.
So, but it was started in a way that what I wanted was not just to be an ambassador or a rep of Slick Air. I wanted to build my brand, which is Bella Hair. So what I signed was representing you here, why I can still do other brands and
Yeah.
other products. And that was how the hair business started.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So you've been in this business for 18 years.
Yes, since 2015. No, 2005. Sorry.
Wow.
Since 2005.
Was there ever a time you felt like just giving up on the business?
Yes, like every other business, there are always the high and low in businesses. But like I said, I've always been someone that had passion for this particular business. That's where passion comes in anything you are doing. So when you have passion for a particular thing, it's very important, whatever you are doing, that is something that you love and you have passion for. So when the low times comes, you'll be able to relax, be patient and resist, and just give it time for it to spring up again. So because of the passion I had for the business, of course, not once, not twice, there have been low times. A lot of things have happened along the way, like every other business, but the passion kept pushing, the passion for it, because I love what I'm doing. So anything that comes my way in the process, I'm ready to look for a way, to resolve it and then move forward. So it's very important that no matter what it is that you want to do,
Just
that
do
you
what you
do
love.
what you love to do. So that when the high and the low time comes, especially the low time, you will, you have enough energy, and because of the passion, you'll be able to, supersede and pass that
I
time.
get you. Wow. So as a devoted wife and a mom of 4 and a successful entrepreneur, how have you been able to manage the family, to create a balance between the family and running multiple businesses?
Yeah. So like creating business, you really have to do like 1 or 2 study along the way. It doesn't matter if it can, even if it's not at the beginning, there have to be a time that you really need to sit down and look for a way to look into it and balance things up. So it has not always been rosy all along. But one thing that helped me was that from the inset, I know that I'm a mother and I'm a wife. So what I did was to make sure that the business was closer to home. In short, that was the only condition that was given to me by my husband, that is closer home. So you have to know, at the very beginning of my business, when it was time for school pickup, for school runs, that's when I closed for the day.
Oh.
So that was another even important reason I wanted to do something for myself. That's why I didn't want to work for
under
anybody, because working under anybody, I have to even explain all that before I was allowed to do the business. So working under anybody will restrict your time and time management for your family and all that. But with working for myself, I could decide to just lock up by 3 p.m.
That's right.
and go and pick up the children. And then when I get home and they are okay, or there's someone at home, sometimes my mom is there or nannies are there. If I feel it's okay to leave them for whoever was home at that time to go back to work, fine. Or if I feel, oh, there's nobody else to be with them, fine. I will just stay and then I won't open up for the next day. But eventually, other things were put in place whereby I started to get staffs and train them, and they put structures in place as well. So when it's time for me to pick up, it didn't have anything to do with the business shutting down. So I go and pick up, and of course, the business move on. Or I go and pick up and come back to the shop again because there's someone at home to look after the children. So it just created a balance like that. And of
Wow.
course, that's where the business school comes up. It's good that you have passion for something that you are doing and all that, but it's also good that you go over time to learn and unlearn and relearn. Is a continuous thing. And then the more you learn, the more you have more higher ways of doing things and going about
You
all the
improve on
business stuff. Yeah.
everything you know. Wow.
Yes.
You're the CEO of Bella Hair,
Yes.
which is a big brand. If they are to count 1 out of 5 brands, hair brands, Bella Hair would come up among the 1 to 5 hair brands. And you're also the managing director of Bella Homes. Why, of all the industries you could have picked from, why the hair industry? Why the real estate industry? Is there a story behind it? I know you made mention of you just liking the picture you saw in the US.
Yeah.
You know, I want to believe that before then there were other things you've seen, there are other industries you've seen, but why did you, of all the industries, pick the beauty and the real
Industry.
estate industry?
Okay, first of all, for the beauty industry, like they always say, you look around your environment and you see that there are a lot of problems. And then what is business? You look for a way to find solutions to the problems. That's basically business. Business is providing solutions. So like I said, when I moved into or walked into one of those air shops abroad, I saw the way they were nicely, arranged, nicely done. It was beautiful. And then apart from that, going forward, I was not always a hair person, like wearing wigs and all that, because naturally I have this very full, long hair. Very full long hair. So I can say I was always a hair person, because then I won't walk like for 30 minutes and someone not looking at my hair.
Wow.
I remember one incident even when I was in Amsterdam, and then I actually had my natural hair on. My natural hair was as full as this and long.
Wow.
At a time, even longer than this. And then I went to the salon. I've just finished retouching and straightening and all that. And I was going, and a woman just walked close to me and said, "Hello, ma, how are you doing?" And I said, "Fine." She said, "Please, where did you make your hair? Who made your hair? Where did you buy the weaves?" And I said, "It's my hair." She just looked at me like they said, "You wish," and she walked away. And really, I didn't want to say much, but it was really my hair. So the hair industry, I've always been because of my natural hair that I had. It was really healthy and nice. People just always talk about hair around me. But it was when I now went abroad, really, and I saw the way it was done there and the way it was done here, especially the beauty supply, not the salon. Here we had a lot of salons, and then it was fine, you go to the salon. But buying those bundles and wigs and all that, it was nicely done. And like I said, compared to what I've seen here. So when I came, the first thing that entered my mind was to solve, it was like a problem that I needed to, add advantage or like a
take advantage
solution
and give solution.
So immediately I really opened and did all those. In short, I remember getting my slat board then from Dubai, and then those hooks and everything was really beautiful. Then everybody I know, up to the actresses of old, everybody used to come to get hair from Bella Hair. Then we used to be everywhere at the very beginning, because we were one of the first that came up. It was really beautiful for them to see, like the beauty supply abroad now in Nigeria. I felt it, I saw it, that people really liked it, and saw that, this thing I've come here is really nicely done, and that was how I started. So basically it was just about solution to a particular problem that I think I saw, that this thing can be nicely done. And today you can see that we have even passed the one that we saw abroad. when you go to hair shops now today, you can see how nicely, and even in the salons, everything have really gone from like
Yeah,
here
they've
to up there.
advanced.
So it's something that we have virtually grew in, and it's beautiful.
So, as a business person, what are the challenges you've encountered having a business in Nigeria? And what would you say about having a business in Nigeria compared to having a business abroad, which is more easier, which gives you more advantage? Would you prefer having a business in the US or you're better off here?
Okay. So when you say having a business in Nigeria and abroad, which one? I think is relative. It depends on the particular business that you are opening. So it's very relative. For example, if you are having a hair business in Nigeria, for me, it's better in Nigeria because of our hair. Naturally, Nigerians, our hair is really not always that long and silky and all that. So the market is actually in Africa when you talk of air business. Otherwise, even when you are opening air business abroad, you still want to try and open up where there are a lot of black people, because it's mainly for the black. There are a lot of people find white people, they have extensions in between their hair and all that, but not as much as the black people. So the market is really in Africa or in the regions where you have a lot of black people. So even if you are opening, for example, a beauty supply in America, you want to probably go to Brooklyn, New York, or you want to go to Texas, Houston, where you have a lot of black people. So in this particular business, it was better in Nigeria because the market is really in Africa. And then, of course, when you talk about real estate, it's also everywhere. But as at the time when we relocated, we're developing. There are developed countries, there are developing countries. So Nigeria is still developing. And then, like 20 years back, we have to take advantage of that to do some investment at a time. But now I think it's global now. We are developing either way. Anywhere you go into real estate now, I think is a plus for everyone.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's talk about our topic, relocation reality.
Okay.
Relocation reality. Moving into a new country, it takes a lot. And I believe that a lot of people don't prepare for it.
Yeah.
Like they just hear, oh, go to the abroad, it's cheap, it's affordable, everything is free, you can take loan, you can get house and all that. So I want you to walk us through that journey. Like how are you able to manage adjusting to the life abroad? And if you're to compare it to when you came back, was it really difficult adjusting when you came back?
Yeah, when you say, like you said, relocation realities, I think a lot of people are leaving Nigeria now without thinking or doing enough research before they go. So yeah, I'm not going to say relocating abroad is bad or relocating to Nigeria is the best or all that. But we're just trying to talk on divine direction and divine purpose. Going to talk about planning and doing your research and prepared for where you are going to, either way, whether to Africa, or to Nigeria, or abroad, wherever you want to go to. It's very important you pray for divine direction, really, because there's a saying that I heard recently that this money does not come from abroad, it comes from above. When you are divinely, you want to do something, you bring it to God in prayer, you pray. That's how I do mine. You pray about it, there is a way it will direct you on the best and the right thing to do. That's one. Then secondly, you need to be prepared. You need to be prepared. For example, let's start with going abroad. For example, you want to jackpot abroad, you need to do your research. You need to know what it is that you are going to do abroad. Because I found out that a lot of people, all they just think about is that I have a house, or I have this, my friend left, everybody's gone. So we are the only one left here. I remember someone even coming and say, my wife is disturbing me, that all our friends are gone. She's the only one left, so they have to go. So that's where I think the problem is. You need to know what you want to go and do abroad. And if possible, use minimum of a year to plan and arrange and make all plans to make you go there and settle in well without any complaint. Because trust me, when you go abroad, there are a lot of Nigerians that have jackpot according to them, and they are now stranded. They are even crying and wishing they never left. I know a lot that have even returned back. Why? Because they didn't plan well. They didn't plan well because abroad is a systematic thing. Everything is organized,
Programmed, yeah.
is programmed. For example, I would say you want to go abroad, for example, and you are a couple, and you say you want to go abroad. I've seen someone that will just say, okay, I want to go abroad, and when I go, I want to be in the healthcare sector. I want to do care, taking
Yeah.
care of the sick, or the care job. And then what they go, they prepare here, they go for the study to the school year for 6 months, and really study how to do care. And then they plan before they leave. They've gotten their employment where they are going to work and do all that. And then they get there. When you prepare, you know what you are going to do. You plan it. So it's much, much easier when you get there for you to take the step and the other step how you planned it. That's the first step. And then there's the second set of people that, oh, they told me it's like this, they told me it's like that. They won't bother to make their own research, and they put things together, and they're able to do what they need to do, and they go there as well. So those people, those are the ones that are frustrated when they get there and things are not what they think, and a lot of things begin to fall apart. And then I've seen even a lot now. I heard that most Nigerians that traveled with their spouse and children have eventually, they are now separated abroad because they got there, and of course things are not going the way they planned, and the wife is too much for the wife, and before you know, from bad advice, the social security comes in. They're taking the wife and the child, giving them settlement or taking care of them, and the man is on the streets. A lot of homes are broken now due to not planning well, not due to going abroad, due to not planning well before they leave. And of course, the third one is those people that they're even doing well here. I know someone that is doing so well here. She was doing so well here. And then she had a lot of money. In short, when the money she had to even change was more than 50 million naira at a time that she left. And then when she got there, she actually went to America. And now there's no way, she went with a visa, and then there's no way she can get documentation. It became a problem for her. She even went into depression.
Wow.
So those are some information, not getting the information right on how you can proceed and move well. Because there's a way she could have actually relocate, even in line with her business, and then do the planning where there are a lot of people that does this plan. Even if you don't know, they can help you do the planning, the process, and then you get there and you still get to retain like the kind of job you are doing, or what you were going to do and all that, rather than just going and then getting there before you start to plan.
Yeah.
I think that's where the problem is there. And also, coming to Nigeria is the same thing. Having been abroad before, you want to relocate to Nigeria, and then you don't have to, without planning as well, is also is the problem. Because over there, everything is systemized, everything is in order. And then, for example, over there is no power failure, you don't have electricity issue, and a lot of things. So you need to also come not once, not twice, and also see what you have here, look into what you need to invest in, study it before you also decide that you will come.
That's right.
So for me, I think both ways, you need to really, you need work to do both ways. Whether you are coming back here or you are going back there, there is serious planning to be done, serious information you need to know, and work things out in a way that either way you'll be okay, and you know what you are going in for, and then when you get there, you'll be able to navigate your way to be relaxed and to be okay. Of course, at the beginning of any relocation, you will have time of struggle. But when you have your things planned out, you will also know that the beginning is a time of struggle. So it won't stress you out too much. And eventually things will fall in place and everything will be fine.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very profound. So for the people who are considering relocating to Nigeria, relocating abroad, I know you've told them to plan well,
Yeah.
to take direction. Because I've had a lot of friends that before you will not see them again. And when you send them a message on WhatsApp, they say, I've relocated. I want to ask a very straightforward question. Does relocating guarantee you a good future? Because relocating didn't just start overnight. It has been even from the Bible days.
Of course.
The days of Moses, the days of, they've all journeyed from one place to the other.
Yeah.
But is it a clear solution to all the problems? Does it guarantee a future for everybody?
Yes. So, like you said, moving from one place to the other, I've always been there. So, it's still come up to you want to relocate. What are your plans? What do you want to go and do where you are going to? You know?
Okay, so sorry to cut in. Can we take a commercial break? Thank you.
Sorry.
Now, because of this traffic, because I wanted to give you water. Okay, so thank you so much. That was so profound.
Thank you.
I know you've stated that you have to think, you have to plan, you have to be prepared. But there's this question I want to ask you: Does relocation is relocating to the abroad, to Canada, to US, is it a final solution to having a better life? Because I believe that right now Canada is trending, and I think recently the government of Canada came out and said they have too much people, that they are cutting down on immigration and all that.
Yeah.
And some people are already feeling like, oh, they have a bad luck, being stuck in this country that according to them they feel everything is not working, right? So to you, do you believe that one's destiny is tied to a particular location?
No, I don't believe that one's destiny is tied to a particular location. I don't believe that. I believe that anybody that can go to Canada and work, because trust me, it's a lot of work also in Canada or America for you to be able to break through in your career or in whatever you are doing is work. So I believe that anywhere you are in the world, if you have that zeal to work and be determined to succeed, you can succeed. We have a lot of people that are in Nigeria that are succeeding in their career, that have success in their careers, and they even also have holiday homes in Canada, in America, everywhere. Likewise, the same. But however, that does not take away the fact that there are a lot of opportunities abroad that are working. They have system that is working. And then another thing that is working for people abroad or in Canada that people take advantage of is the free tuition for you to be able to educate yourself and build yourself and build a career for yourself. Like in universities, for example, universities are not free in Nigeria, but if you go abroad, you can have and you have some ways that you can go about it, whereby you will study for free, or even you study with student loan that you get to pay up when you are very, very comfortable later in life. So that advantage is there. But one thing I always say is this: even in Canada, in America, where those advantages are, there are a lot of people that are uneducated there. There are even a lot of Nigerians that have gone abroad on this, to go and study that also didn't finish. I have a few parents, even some that sent their children to school, were paying school fees that didn't know that those children were not really going to school.
Wow.
Yeah,
For real.
for real. I had a
They were
story.
here sending money.
They were sending money in the last day. I had a story this one was a recent one. The child even told them she was graduating, and they got everybody on the plane to attend her graduation. And even when they got to America, invited people, and then they went for that graduation day to that school. They were driving and they got to the school was empty. In short, her mother collapsed right there and there.
Wow.
And she said, she's taught it today. But at the end of the day, they eventually, because they've already done graduation and all that, they got in touch with the school and found out that she had not even been going to school for a year and all that. And so people were like, okay, why would you even take them there when you know that? Some people say maybe she already spoke with some people and they were, like deceiving her, they will be able to help her graduate, come on that day or whatever. But what I'm trying to say is this. My people says that a child that is going to work in the farm is immediately that child wake up in the morning that you will know. There are a lot of people here in Nigeria that all they do is just complain. All they say in Nigeria is Nigeria that is not working. There are also a lot of people in Nigeria that they are seeing Nigeria that is not working, and they are, instead of complaining, they are trying to look for solutions to those things that are not working.
That's right.
He said, what is services? It's when you render something a solution to whatever problem that you have on ground. So if you are the type that is not serious here, that is always complaining here, they will still go to Canada and be complaining. Do you know that whether it's Canada or America, there are still people there that still complain that that place is not good, it's not this, it's not that. So I just think it's a mindset, is a personal thing for everyone. If you are striving in Nigeria, you are doing a lot in Nigeria to succeed in Nigeria, irrespective of what your income is. When you will go to Canada, is the same spirit we have to do what you need to do to strive to succeed and to provide whatever solution. So I think that is the most important thing, because a lot of people now, there's even one that I had a conversation with someone and said, I was trying to counsel him to do something and all that. And he said, no, it's not. He's tired of this country. All you need to do now is just to go abroad. It's just to go to America. And that's okay. When you get there, what are you going to do? Say, I'm going to be balling. When I enter America like this, the first 3 months, I will just be balling. I say, you'll be balling with which money? Mama, don't worry. I'm going to be balling. So there are some people like that. They don't have plans. Their mindset, IQ is very low. People, they think that if you go abroad, you pick money on the street. If you have never worked before, as you are stepping your feet abroad, you get ready to work. You want to make money abroad because you are making money, you are paying bills. When I say bills, lots of bills, that you have to end up doing 2 jobs, 3 jobs. They are doing 4 jobs for care. Then you are doing your weekend jobs at a supermarket. Then you are doing maybe 1 day in between as a nanny somewhere else. That you have to combine on that. If you are inside the metro, you see people, they are sleeping. If you are working abroad, it's inside the metro in your car that you do your makeup now. Yeah. Or even if you are a nurse, I have friends in Canada, they are going, your breakfast is inside the car. Because you are driving 1 hour drive to your work. You have not even worked, and you're going to drive 1 hour. That is inside the car, you do a breakfast. And then you have to take care of the children and a lot of things. It's a lot of work abroad. That's why a lot of people go into depression when they go abroad. They didn't prepare for it. It's a lot of work. And then another thing is that in Nigeria, you have a lot of help. Nigeria is where you can call your neighbor now and say, please, I'm running late. My daughter is going to be coming. They will drop with you. Abroad, you hardly see your neighbor. Or your neighbor is probably also working. And then you have to plan all those things. And then you have a situation whereby a lot of people are not planning those things. They leave their children unattended to in the house. Do you know that lots of our Nigerians' children are now with social workers? They have taken the children from them. Wow. Because they have left the children underage, unattended to in the house one way or the other, trying to survive, trying to quickly work or do this and return back. And maybe the children goes out and then before you know, the social worker police is there and they are taking their children. It's a lot of work. I'm not saying that it's not a good place. It's a good place. You will succeed, you will strive, you build your career, but be prepared and plan before you just go there. And then you start complaining also when you get there.
Wow.
So that's my take on that.
So thank you so much for giving us such profound clarity on this. Like, you're beginning to open up to a lot of harsh realities because people only see the good side. They only see the change of environment. They see the good videos they will make, the content videos they would make and post on social media, and people will hail them. But they don't see the hard work they get to put into it. Yeah. Sometimes you go on social media and you hear somebody died of high blood pressure, somebody
A
slum.
lot of depression also.
Yes, and sometimes I think I saw a video of a lady that was crying, and she said, "Look at her life, like she was in a factory."
Yeah.
There she was just crying. She was like, "Look at her life. She has not rested. She's tired." And I know some of them over there, they just don't know how to come back. So,
Yeah.
but for you now, looking back at the journey, at when you relocated and when you came back, would you say that that was one of the best decisions you made, staying
Of
back in
course.
Nigeria?
Yeah, as at the time I came back, it was one of the best decisions I made, both for me and for my family, for my children as well. Like I said, they were very young at that age, but still, there was a time also when we were thinking of going back, and of course, like you said, that there are always highs and lows time in life. But then, because of the children, because we're thinking of giving them that African, what do you call, our character, our building, foundational building is very important as well, especially for their young age,
Yeah,
because
imbibing the culture.
that's
Yeah.
another thing that we have to consider about relocating. Relocating is good, fine, but there's this particular age abroad, because what will I call it? The children abroad, they have a lot of advantage given to them by the government over their parents. And for me, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because they protect the children is good, that they protect the children all over everywhere. But where there are some situations where these parents are now working and overworking, and then they are not always around. So there are some negative influence in the head that cannot influence the children wrongly. I know that also in Nigeria there are children that are influenced wrongly, but it's more there based on the what will I call it, the freedom and the
Exposure.
exposure and everything that is happening around, over there. So we wanted our children to have a bit of that cultural
Yeah.
background, Africa background, and then so we made them go for their primary and secondary in the air, and of course their uni abroad. And then I would say that the mindset is always kind of different from children that had to experience this kind of opportunity and
yeah.
upbringing compared to the others. I'm not saying that they are better, because I also know a lot of children that didn't come to Africa for that age. But one thing was that their parents were also very determined and had plans in place to, groom them, especially had time for them to groom them,
Yeah.
and they're also doing well and fine. But in the situation whereby you now have these children and you now working 24/7, and then these children are now, always by themselves, children can't take care of themselves. So most of these people have seen a lot of disadvantages, that even at the end of the day, when they're supposed to be resting, they are now using it now to start to groom or run after the children based on, one thing or the other. That's the disadvantage of not being there at that time, of the children not getting what that foundational character building that they needed to get at that time. So for me, I think it's both ways, really. Everything's always both ways. If there are people also in Nigeria that are also very busy, they are in Nigeria, they still do their 9 to 12 job, and they also don't have time for children. Also the same thing abroad. But the thing is that we just have to have a balance. And also, what is very important to us, we are different. Some things are important to me, and they might not be that much important to you. But when it comes to family and bringing up the children, it's a lot of sacrifice. You see, some people really know that if they come take their children to Nigeria because of one or two things that they are exhibiting at the moment, that it will be better for the children. But they don't want to come because they don't want to make that sacrifice.
That's right.
And they will say, no, please, I have my life to live and all that. So at the end of the day, there are lots of problems comes later. You will still have to deal with it anyways again. So for me, I think it is either way. And what's most important is just what you believe, what you take as important to you at a particular time. It's always a sacrifice when it comes to building families, building up your children, taking care of your children, making decision of which school, making decision abroad. Like, I had the opportunity to stay abroad, and even if I wasn't working as a mom of 3 or 4, I will be paid. I will be paid just for a mom of 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But I chose to be here for some other reasons that I felt was important to me. Money is not everything. And today I'm happy I took that decision. Those children, of course, they are abroad today because they are citizens, they are abroad today. But I'm happy that I took that decision.
And there's a balance.
There's a balance in everything.
You get the opportunity to enjoy your family. The children are properly raised.
Yeah.
And you are not, in any way under unnecessary pressure.
No.
When you are there, you'll be on serious pressure trying to, there they can't even spank children.
No, there are lots of things that you cannot do there, And then that's why I said the African way, culture work for us, because we are Africans. Before we became any other thing, we're Africans. So the way we're brought up is the way we know how to also bring up our children. I'm not saying being violent or spanking. That's not even the real thing. I don't even believe in spanking children. I've never done that. But I think there are other sacrifices, that we have the opportunity to instill in our children, being in Africa. Like I gave example of, you have your families around you most times. It doesn't mean that you have to leave your children to your families, that there's, everything I've got a limit. But you have people around you that could help you do a lot of things, or that will give you the privilege to do other things, and then you have time to do what you need to do in the house. Unlike when you're abroad, it's very difficult to get help from people around, and or you have to do everything basically by yourself, especially when the children are young. It's really difficult.
Very difficult.
When the children are little, it's really difficult. But however, it's just what you want, and your ability to know what you want and to sacrifice for what you want. Because I think these days a lot of people are selfish. Let me use that word. Everybody's thinking about themselves. It's good to think about yourself. But when you are in a family, as a family person, first of all, you brought these children to life. You were not forced to give birth to these children, to bring them to life. So you should be ready to take care of them, to sacrifice some things to make sure their well-being is okay. And trust me, if you are able to do that, in the long run, it will also be beneficial to you.
Wow.
Wow. So that's my take on that.
That's very profound. Okay, so as we wrap up, to our viewers, to our listeners, to the young girl out there watching who wants to become Selena, who wants to become a CEO of a brand like Bella Ninja, who wants to go into real estate, what would be that advice that you would give that listener? Right? That's one question. The other question is, what would be the advice that you would like to give someone who is contemplating coming back to Nigeria? Would you tell the person, okay, you made up your mind, come back to Nigeria, this and this is what you would do? What would be your advice to such person?
Okay, so first of all, for someone that's trying to build a brand and you are looking into starting a business, I would say that you follow your passion. It's very important that you do what you like to do, because when you are doing something that's your passion, it's like a skill. It's like what you love is easier than you trying to force yourself. Because in this country, I see people, when you see if everybody's selling hair, you want to sell hair. You see everybody's selling camera, everybody's becoming a photographer, you want to become a photographer. But I would just advise that you do what you love to do. And for me, what worked for me is what I would tell you, divine direction is always key for me. Even after you have seen that your passion, you have thought about it, it's very important that you bring God into it. You pray about it, and that way is easier, because so when you are navigating, it just leads you in a divine way. Bring people your way that will make it easier for you. That's one thing that God does. Like you are trying to start a business and you are thinking of that thing, you are praying about it. You will just be surprised. You step out one day and you meet maybe CEO Bella here. Or you just meet somebody that will know somebody. Before you know, you can start that business without no capital. Things like that happens, and then you are just going in the pursuit of the business. You encounter any challenge. You can bring someone your way that will help you resolve it easily. So divine direction is very paramount in anything you want to do.
Yeah, it's very
And
good.
also, I say you must be consistent. You must be very hardworking. And when it comes to air business, you must make sure that you stick to quality. That's it for me. That what you are starting with, what you have decided to give to the people, you have to carve down in, know your target market. You cannot satisfy everybody. Do you understand? There are people that the highest they can buy in air, the highest amount they can buy is 20,000 naira. You cannot be selling air for 20,000 naira and be selling air for 2 million at the same time. So you need to know, and the market is very big. So some people, they don't carve their niche, they don't know where they stand in it. So they are just rolling in circles, and before you know, you get exhausted and tired. But if you know this is the middle class, I want to cater for, concentrate on the middle class, buy the
target
quality, the
market.
price, and all that for the middle class. Concentrate and be there and be consistent. And then before you know, you'll be moving up in your business.
Wow. By the way, she's running a sales. I think her sales is starting
On the first,
second. Is it?
on the 2nd of December.
Yeah. So for those
Yes.
of you who is looking at her hair, and say, oh, I love this hair, but is it not going to be pricey?
No.
Run to her page.
2nd of December, we're having a 25% discount on all luxury air. Whatever you buy from 2nd of December to January 11th, you get 25% discount on all luxury airs.
So
Yeah.
hurry now. And then you can pay small. Is there a package for?
Yes, we do that as well. So the promo is for a month. If you want to buy in the promo, we advise that you pay cash. In the promo, normally we do cash. But if you want to buy and then do installmental payment, we do that on a normal basic. Whether we are running a promo or not, that is what you can do with us. You can always buy air from us, and you have 3 months
Will
period.
it be the same price?
The same price. It's the same price. You
Will
can
the
buy.
person be allowed to take the hair?
No, you don't take the hair until you finish paying.
We did not even get to talk about customer challenge. You need to tell us customer. Have you had any issue with the customer?
Yeah, there are a lot of customer challenges, but I would rather say these challenges like is a complaint that you have to deal with or you have to resolve.
Yeah.
And in business, that's where the studying and all that comes in. You know how to deal with your customer. You have to have a good customer relationship. We have the challenges I think we're having now is that in this part of the world, especially for women our age, it's really difficult for them to maintain their hair. It's difficult. And
Hello, I'm here.
and then also in Nigeria, because there are salons everywhere, so you can easily just go to this salon and do it. So I think that's why we have not learned in that skill to help to make our
maintain
hair.
the hair.
So they just go home, wear the hair, go out and take it out and fling it on the chair. And guess what? The next day they just want to take it and put it in and go out. And they without even brush it. And I had someone that said it. I normally don't brush my hair. I normally don't, and they fall in place. How? Like when you both people that even have the hair, natural hair, you will be in the airport. You come out of the plane, go to the restroom with them. You see them brushing their hair at the airport. Thank God I've lived with white people. I know every day they will wash their hair every day. The ones that have the curly hair, and they'll put that leave-in conditioner to bring the coils out every day. So Nigerians, even the curly hair, they want to wear it for 1 month, and it should still look like the way they bought it.
Right?
So I think that's one of the challenges I think I've we got to deal with in this business. We have to really now talk to them on how to maintain their hairs, and then in the process we have to even introduce a new product called revamping that we do. So now you can bring your wigs and to us, and we revamp it for you. Maybe once in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you have it all at home again to go to work for 1 month, and then like that they keep bringing it. So I think that's the thing, that some of them are actually very busy, but I think the main challenge, the typical African woman, they don't even want to take brush and brush their hair at all. You see the way this hair is, they want to wear this hair like this even for 6 months, and it should be looking like this.
Wow.
For 6 months. So that's one of the challenges. And then we are trying to educate them from time to time, to send them videos of hair maintenance and management. And then I think some of them are beginning to try to do something to their hair themselves.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much to our viewers out there who has been with us all through this episode. I want to use this time out to wish you a happy new month. Yes, happy new month. Thank you for sharing, liking, and following us through our channels. For those who are yet to follow, we are available on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and of course, TikTok. So keep sharing, keep liking, and remember, success does not come from the abroad, it comes from the above. You can prosper at anywhere you are. There are people who relocated from Nigeria to abroad and they did very well. There are people who did the same thing and did not even succeed. You understand? You can jackpot and you cannot be okay. But you can still be in this country and make money. As much as they are talking about so many complaints, nowhere is safe. You talk about insecurity, even in the abroad, they also have their own issues. So before you take, this is not me trying to tell you stay back in Nigeria so we can be many, but this is just the voice of reasoning telling you to calculate your step so that you will not be at the right place at the wrong time, or you be there at the wrong time at the right place. Your destiny is not tied to a location. You don't have to travel abroad to make it. But if you have made up your mind and you have thought of the risk, you have counted everything, and you say, oh, I need to travel, then we wish you all the best. From us here at Kwa Podcast, we want to say we love you and we say bye-bye. See you next time. Thank you so much.